back to the Winmax Brake Pads Ashley Forest live stream coverage, brought to you by Winmax Brake Pads, the Magnum Automotive Group, and Raytec, as we head into the top 32 elimination now. And the slowest of the top 32 was Phil Walker from Christchurch in the Mazda RX-7. So Phil Walker, car 43, the first car into the top 32 elimination. And of course the field gets halved from this round and each round from here on in. So Murray Walker from Christchurch.
Murray Walker.
Oh, sorry, Phil Walker.
Unless I'm very much mistaken, Grant.
Yes, exactly. And in motorsport, anything can happen, and usually does.
And usually does. So, we hope you're hearing us loud and clear again, wherever you may be in the world.
1:08.59, so just slightly faster than his fourth qualifying run time of a 1:09.09, so half a second faster for Phil Walker in the top 32.
So now his arch rival and Bert Murray from Waimaki in the Group B RX-7. Richard Kelsey RX-7, which was a sister car to Rob Millen's winning RX-7.
So the second of the RX-7s heading off up the rally sprint course this morning with Bert Murray. Heading up towards the Hella hairpin comes Bert Murray, supported by Dunlop, Hayden Tate Builder, Waimati, and White Horse Motors in Waimati. 41.07 to the hairpin. Wait for Bert's time on the top 32 run. 1:07.32 for Bert Murray against Phil Walker's Mazda RX-7 of 1:08.59. So 7.32 for Bert Murray as Daniel Fick from Dannyburg in the Toyota MR2 comes to the start line for his attempt to get into the top 16. Now just Lindsay having a look at what was the 16th fastest time coming into the top 32 to give us an idea of where we need to be looking for cut-off, and Jason Clark I think had the 16th quickest time going into the 32 and he was a 1:02.17. So you're going to be needing to get into the 1:02s to get into the top 16. Now
yeah.
Crikey's looking back that over the records over the years. Who would have thought 16 cars?
Well, we're not. No,
so,
we're not.
Daniel Fick comes round the hairpin. So Daniel Fick on the downhill run now in the Toyota MR2. 105.30 for Daniel Fick. Now, of course, these two-wheel drive cars aren't only trying to get into the top 16, they're actually also looking for a place in the runoffs for two-wheel drive,
Yes, of course
open two-wheel drive, and of course the various class cars.
The next we have is Ari Pettigrew and the, I say, giant-killing BMW 318. Ari pedals this car quicker than it should be pedalled, in my opinion. He does a wonderful job.
And a lot of the work himself, builds the engines, builds the car.
Ari's one of the young fellas we'd like to see in something more modern, but unfortunately with our sport, money is a huge thing, Grant, and he's, just needs something to go wrong like he had back there, and it makes it very hard to climb yourself back in, doesn't it?
Yeah. And even with this car, I mean, blowing an engine, it's taken a month to get the car back up and running again to be here for Ashley Forest.
Exactly.
So I did ask Ari, that's nice, he's driving this car beautifully. Up to the hairpin comes Ari, nice and tight round the hairpin, good line. 41.82 to the top. I did ask Ari what is on the cards for the rest of the year, so he's a bit of a toss-up whether he goes to the Lawrence Rally or goes up Marlborough Way and does the Sprint Series up there.
Yeah.
106.69 for Ari Pettigrew in the BMW 318.
Is that about a 2-second improvement on last time?
Yes, I think it is.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he was about a 108 last time.
108, yeah.
So great time. And you did say the advantage of Lawrence Rally, of course, is quite a fast rally and does suit the long wheelbase of this car. So, folks, you might be heading Lawrence way before the end of the year. Ari Pettigrew. As our next competitor comes to the line, and this is the RX-7 of Job Quintock, car 65. Built and prepared Q Sport Mazda RX-7 Bateman of Job Quintock from Ahoka. 25-year-old, heads up the hill. Part of his career highlights, he notes winning the all-comers class in the 2018 Canterbury Rally last year. Third overall in NZRC this year, of course, driving the Skoda, and winning a New Zealand Rally Championship stage outright last year. The highlights listed by Joe Quintock of Ahoka. Up to the hairpin he comes, and the RX-7.
As the sky begins to clear a bit, Grant, here.
Yes. 41.88 I think I heard for the hairpin.
Oh, this is warming up, Grant.
Maybe that sun is coming out like predicted.
Yep.
107.39
So
for the Batman RX-7.
Our best so far is David Fick from Danny Vuk in the MR2 with a 105.30. But as you say, Grant, we're going to have to get round. They're going to get round to the 102s to think of progressing to the last 16.
Yep. Right, and here comes Robert McCallum from Christchurch in the Ford Escort. Now his aim is to try and better a 105, which is the fastest time that he's done an Escort here on the Ashley Forest Rally Sprint course, and he got very, very close to that on the last run. Whoop. No, another missed time. So the red light comes on. Pick reverse for Robert McCallum and back down to the start line once again for Groove. 51 years of age. Rallied for over 30 years, started in a Mark 1 Escort and then moved to the Mark 2 in 1989. And this version of this Escort is far removed, I would imagine, to tell you, from a Mark 1 and a Mark 2. With a 2.5 litre Duratec engine, 320 horsepower and 6-speed sequential gearbox. A gear or two more than they ever came out with.
Nice car, that's been wonderfully restored, this car. Looks absolutely pristine.
Supported by Kennelly Cams, Brent Buist and Palmside.
And of course we're supported by Winmax brake pads and the Magnum Automotive Group.
Indeed, without their support, this live streaming coverage would not be coming to you around New Zealand, around the world, where we're enjoying, so many viewers are enjoying the coverage of Ashley Forest. The pop and a bang as Robert McCallum heads up the course. That sequential gearbox working an absolute treat. Up to the groove comes.
Up to the groove comes the groove.
Up to the groove comes the
Well,
groove.
no,
Indeed.
is he? Up to the groove, that's quite right. As he goes through grippers. Up to the
Groovy grippers.
Up to the, yeah, people have forgotten about grippers. It's on the way down called grippers, but it's still grippers.
So if you wait for Robert McCallum to come downhill, the crowd is now really starting to swell up here as people come to the money end of the game.
Yeah, it's all on now. She's a cutthroat time of the year now.
Okay, here he comes, spectacular on the lane, point away, sideways if you like, through. 41.56 to the 180.50 here.
41.56. 105.85. So
They put him in second fastest so far.
he's in the 105s. Another second, and he'll set himself a personal goal as Sloan Cox comes up in the two-wheel drive Evo 10. Of course, Sloan Cox in double duties along with his outright contender. Sloan Cox on the course. And of course, up until the last run here, Sloan was the king of Ashley Forest.
Indeed.
That time is gone now. Hayden Paddon has set a new record. If you've just joined us this morning, the record has already been broken here at Ashley Forest. Hayden Paddon, the new record holder.
But we suspect that Sloan Cox has not finished, and when he gets back in the four-wheel drive car, he'll be aiming to restore what he will consider as a natural form of justice.
Yes.
But I don't think Hayden thinks like that.
42.76 to the 180.50 here.
42.76 to the hairpin.
That's a good time too to the 180.50 here.
So last time he did a 109.81.
Certainly quicker than his previous run. Well, we're talking about the Mag and Turbo.
So let's see what Sloan can bring the Evo 10 two-wheel drive down the hill in. He's having trouble stopping this one again, and he pulls it up, coming 106.53, so over 3 seconds he's knocked off his time here in the 32 elimination run.
As the sun comes out and the dust gets thicker, and
Indeed, dust starting to come into the commentary position. Luckily, Chucky in charge has got the duster out.
Chuck in charge.
Oh, crikeys.
Our Skoda man.
My wife's surname's Skoda. as well.
Yeah. How about that? Chucky's wife's name's Skoda.
There you go.
Morning, Skoda. What's your boy's name?
Chucky and Max.
Chucky and Max. Morning, Max.
So we have the two-wheel drive record holder on the start grid now, Chris Hay from Mossville, with the beautiful MR2 that he develops year after year. A few new bits hanging on the car this year, which is apparently going quicker.
So when he got down to the final runs last year, he had the water injection going on the back radiator of that car. I don't know whether it's the squirters are working today, but yeah, what an innovation this car has been year on year. He keeps developing it, and it keeps just going faster and faster. So Chris Hay.
Curly Hay as he rounds the hairpin.
So Chris Hay's record, of course, for two-wheel drive is 102.15.
He's very keen to break that after the additional work he's done again this in the last 12 months.
37.64 to the top.
So
100.94.
He's broken his own record.
Wow.
2 records gone in the space of an hour today. 100.94 from Chris Hay.
90, sorry? 90. Wow. Who would have thought a two-wheel drive car's knocking on the car like this, knocking on the on the door?
Well, we had a chat to him on Friday and suggested that he would be close to going under the minute, and he didn't quite believe that. But I tell you what, he is that close to he is that close to going under the minute, isn't he?
He is. And if that's the sort of performance he's improved on, I think you could just about put $1 on that one, quite safely.
Indeed.
As James Palmer comes to the line in the Subaru Legacy, car number 28. James did a 106.82 in the 4th qualifying round.
You know, James is a relatively inexperienced driver, and this car is an old car. I think he's done a tremendous job in this grant this weekend.
He has indeed.
Yeah, he's a bit of a talent there from James.
So he did a 106 when he drove the car in 2017. He's done a 106 already. Can he set himself a new legacy and get into the 105s?
Indeed.
So we'll see what time he can do. James Palmer, he's been quickest every round.
We're all about legacies here, aren't we?
Indeed. Of course, this car was purchased by Matt Summerfield a few years ago for $5,000. And he's generally improved on it as they've got a bit more budget, but she's still a pretty basic standard car.
And I must say that we heard from Joe McAndrew this morning or yesterday, and my memory with Joe is with the Subaru Legacy.
Yes.
Which he won his first national championship in with the Subaru Legacy. So there you go, Joe. We think of you a lot, mate, and seeing the Legacy is like seeing you.
First line in the time of
105.18. So, car 27 Willie Hawes will be the next one onto the line in the Toyota Celica GT4. Yeah. Very shortly, Lindsay, I'm going to have to leave you in sole charge here.
We'll survive, Grant, we'll survive.
I have the privilege of riding alongside Matt Summerfield in this particular run. So get me suit on, get myself organised.
Willie Hawes has been here, this is the 5th time that he's been here. But he's competed in the Mainland Series for in 2015 and 2016. Oh, well, there we go. I have a new guest here with me, and one Les Summerfield.
Hello, Lindsay.
You're talking to a lot of people out there. You don't realise it, mate. So You've got to behave yourself.
Yes, I'll try. With your guidance.
Indeed. So we've got Willie Hawes on there on the circuit now with coming up to the hairpin. Now, Les, do you sit as a nervous father a lot at these events? Are you a nervous father type?
Yes, I am actually. Always am. But I know that Matt and McCoole can do the job. So as long as I don't crash, it's all good.
That's all good. Right, Willie Hawes on the downward run now.
It's a good time for Willie.
105.36. Yep, good time for Willie. The fraction slower than what James Palmer was in your legacy.
Yeah, that's actually really good, isn't it?
He's not a bad peddler, James Palmer, is he? Not a bad peddler, Grant. Les.
Yeah. No, it's a good
Not a
car.
bad peddler.
Yeah. Here's Dave.
Right, here's Dave Wallace in the Impreza. Dave Wallace has been around a long time. Great supporter of local rallying.
I took him for his first ever rally ride, actually, Lindsay.
Did you?
Yes.
And what car was that?
That was in the Rotary Escort that we had, and we rolled, but it didn't scare him, obviously.
No, he got involved big time, didn't he?
He certainly has, and he's great for the sport.
People say you are too, Les. Great for the sport.
It's it's a passion, isn't it?
It's a passion, and the hardest thing you've got and Dave's got is to differentiate between the working hours and non-working hours, isn't it?
It's extremely, yep. You've really got to juggle it, that's for real.
Got to navigate the coloured notice corner.
So Dave Wallace reaches the hairpin. He's on the way down.
Good lines going up.
39.54 to the 180.50 hairpin.
39.54 to the hairpin.
39.88. So a good
He's on a similar run to last time.
4/10 of a second. Here he comes. Through the Kumo cars, finish line in a time of 104.83. Dave will be
104.83 from Dave Wallace, which makes him the quickest out there. But we still think that the 102, early 102s, is going to be the time to get if you want to get to the top 16.
The pace is really quick this year, isn't it, Lindsay?
Well, it keeps getting quicker and quicker, doesn't it?
It is,
every
yeah.
year.
And the road I drove around it last night hasn't been cutting up.
No. And that's been something that's happened a lot, but there's been not much rain lately, so I guess it's helped it cement itself a bit better.
Yeah, and the club has spent a lot of time getting the road right too.
So it's Sam Hurley here, next on the grid, Sam Hurley car 25, and the good old Evo 3, those early Evos, they're still good rally cars, aren't they?
They're fantastic cars, extremely light with good power. And Sam actually is driving this one really well.
105.85, his quickest run.
Local Rangiora lad. Now, quite a few good lads in Rangiora, lads. You set a good example there, haven't you?
Oh, I don't know. We bring them up. Sam
an
actually,
example.
Yeah, Sam actually crews on our car as well. So
Right.
He's handy with the spanners too. So.
Well, Sam started rallying in a Toyota Starlet, which was in the vein of so many of the young fellas when they started rallying, as the Starlets are a good car to start in.
Yeah, they are. You learn the basic skills in a slow car. They're really good.
We commented Les about the number of cars in the 1300 class here this year, which is probably a record, which is unusual for an event that doesn't favour the smaller powered cars, but it's some good competition going on between these fellows.
Oh, it's fantastic. Like every rally now, there's sort of 8 to 10 1300s, and everyone helps each other, and I think that's what's helped the class grow.
So it's a great comradeship amongst them all.
Yeah, it is. You know, some of the guys they've got groups of T-shirts and everything now. Like they're all really a big family.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So he's pretty consistent. So this should be a 105 run if we can get down the other side pretty cleanly through the Flower Hotel Dipper down towards the Kumo tyres. Finish line, in fact, here he comes. Through the turbo cars, first line, listen to the time. 105.37, so there's a lot of cars in that 105.
105.37.
Oh, that's good.
105.37, so he's...
There's a lot in the 105s.
Yeah, James Palmer is still our quickest with a 105.18. No, I beg your pardon. Chris Hay is our fastest.
Yeah.
Chris Hay, of course, who broke the two-wheel drive record with a 100.94. Okay, next we have is Matt McGlinchey. Matt McGlinchey with the Impreza. This is Matt's 8th appearance here at Ashley Forest for the rally sprint.
He's a great guy, Lindsay. He's down to earth. He's just a
Yeah,
good club.
another
competitor.
one. Yeah.
Yep. He rolled his other car at Dunedin Rally this year, so he had to buy this one to carry on competing.
Oh,
Yeah.
here we have a spit coming up. We've got a bit of time restored here. A 41.99.
For Matt McCallum from Christchurch and Subaru WRX, car number 23. And Matt qualified 26th after his runs, a 107.48, his best time on the weekend. We're down through the Flower Hotel Different down already. Through the Kumo Tires finish line.
A 108.00.
We haven't talked
I don't think that'll be enough, Lindsay.
No, I don't think so at all.
Still happening up the top there. Make sure you head on up and grab a bite to eat as
Another one of the Evos, the Evo 3 of touring car driver Michael Tom.
okay, Michael Tom, car number 21.
Well, I'm saying that this is his 3rd time here at Ashley Forest, so it's got some sort of appeal to him to come and do this, and something different to what he has been doing with the touring cars.
Off the line.
He's applying himself really well to it,
Yeah, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
It's a huge
though.
difference.
Way different.
Certainly that start line is very tricky indeed now.
Les, does motorsport consume your morning and afternoon teas at Autotech?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
We're always talking about it. I want
Yeah.
to follow likes of Liam, Lawson. Like, the sport is, it's in our blood, and we've always got motorsport cars in the workshop.
But you
as
have.
well.
Looking at the time to get in here to the 32.
And you enjoy winding Coxie up, I understand.
Yes, I have loved widening Cox out.
In the final run this morning. And that split time coming through.
That's a 41.34 for Michael Tom.
He lost a lot of time there though, Lindsay.
Yes, he did. Although I think our cameras might have just stalled a wee bit there, but it was 41.34, which was on the par with what Matt McGlinchey did. He did a 41.99, so it was half a second of Matt McGlinchey. Rightio. 106.89.
Ooh, he made up for it now.
So he certainly made up for it coming down the hill.
And just looking at that. He's not as quick as his final run time, but we'll see if that holds up. Well, the next car on the line is Corey McCaskill from Cromwell with his Subaru Impreza. Sponsored by Southern Lakes Architectural Coating. Cromwell.
Yeah, here's a great guy on the line, Lindsay.
Collision repairs. Jolly's Earthworks.
Corey McCaskill.
And Five Stags. Cromwell.
He pedals that car pretty well, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Yep.
And last year he won 16th overall for Corey McCaskill.
Speaking of Coxie, there he is.
There he
giving
is.
Me the,
He's not being very nice, is he? Either? I like setting people up like that.
Yeah.
Particularly Coxie too. Corey McCaskill, 40.14. That's a pretty good time, Les.
Yeah, but he went wide at the top corner.
Yeah, but it's still better than the 3 before.
Yep.
Yes, he did go wide, but it's not an easy corner, is it?
No, it's difficult. And there's actually quite a lot of dirt up there on the outside.
Are you on the handbrake hard up there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see what Corey can do. That's pretty. It's better than his previous run up the hill, so this should be a good time on the other side.
A 1:06.72. So, yep, he's quicker than Michael Tom.
Yep. Still a lot of quick guys to go, and it's going to have to be down on the 106.
Well, here we have Jason Clark now, and his best time, I think, is a 1:02. So,
yep, and he'll be starting to dial it in.
there's a bit of a jump now. Yeah.
From Blenheim. And the auto spec, Richard Bateman Motors, CBD Cafe and Deli.
So, Les, what's your quickest time around here? And in what?
A 101, 102.
In Subaru?
And a Subaru.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a long time ago.
Yeah, it would have been now, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
A 1:01. So what were you the top 8 at that stage, were you?
I missed the top 8 by Wayne Muckle, but we did a 1:01.11.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So it's Jason Clark on the way up. He rounds the hairpin in a very credible 37.65.
Yeah, that's a good time.
150 hairpin for the Evo 5 Mitsubishi of Jason Clark.
Yes, well, he did a 1:02 last time, so it's on again at that time.
Yes.
About the minute mark. Yeah, this is going to be pretty good. Possibly a
Yeah, an even minute, 1 minute and 48 seconds.
Fantastic time, Jason.
So that indeed is our fastest time of the round.
Yep.
what he did in the qualifying part of the event. Okay, car number 18 coming up. Garrett Thomas from Kerr Williams.
So Garrett Thomas is our next one there. Garrett Thomas from Darfield. Only been in rally sport a matter of 2 or 3 years, Les, and he's certainly made an impression, hasn't he?
He certainly has. He's like a duck to water. It's incredible his transition from the Evo to this car.
But even so,
It's consistent now. He's
but
fast.
even before, only 3 years, you
Yeah.
know, that's pretty impressive.
He certainly has a talent.
Didn't that car look good? Off the line and sound good?
Yeah, it does. It's got a sequential gearbox. It's
Oh.
got all the right bits in
That
it.
was almost perfect off the line then.
Yep, and Dave builds a good car too.
So it's Garrett Thomas, his father-in-law being Dave Wallace, who has built the car.
And Matt Summerfield. Like a little bit more competition this year. Throwing Richard Bateman and Sean Hegarty and Michael Toole as well.
So he rounds the hairpin in 37.17. So he is in fact under Jason Clark's 37.65.
37-17.
He might get the minute on this one.
So it's every chance he will go on the minute or under the minute.
Minute mark, perhaps a 1 minute, just over the 1 minute mark, or even sneak under the minute. Well, I just have to say Garrett will be absolutely committed down through the turbo time first line.
He has done the 1 minute and 75, 76, 1 minute and 76. So it's a bit slower coming down.
Well, Matt Summerfield is
Righto, Les, now's the time you get nervous, is that right?
Yes, I already am.
I think Grant McDonald, who's in the car with more, would be more nervous than what Matthew will be.
Yeah, I wouldn't get in there.
Wouldn't you?
No. He drives really well. I went for one ride in the Mirage. He can do it, but I can't.
So you're not a good passenger?
No.
Well, fair enough. Righto, Matt Summerfield on the way up there in the Impreza. A car that's given him quite a few successes over recent years in the either National Championship and the Mainland Series. In fact, this car took him to second place in the National Championship 2 years ago. So here
It's
we
been
go.
a fantastic car. This one.
Yeah, good reliable car.
Yeah.
36.25 to the top, Lee. Is that good?
That's good.
You happy? Yeah.
Yep.
So we're
There'll
definitely
be some minute.
on. We're definitely on for under a minute now. And for the age of this car, what is this is going to be an incredible run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
58.
Wow. That's quite a good time, actually.
Can you be a bit more excited at a good time? I think it's an,
I'm stoked, mate.
it's an incredible
It's
time.
fantastic. It really is.
I'm stoked. I'm pleased to say he is stoked.
I think Grant would have had a good ride, actually.
Grant's going to be like trembling jelly coming back into this box, I tell you.
Grant's been a big supporter, and for him to get in there is absolutely awesome.
Oh, that's good stuff, Liz. I'm very pleased.
I think it's got the restrictor's been taken out too.
Yeah, well,
now,
I
so
figured the restrictor was been taken out last night.
Slightly more horse. No, it was taken out just before.
Was it just before, was it?
Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
going to run the rally class with one in it.
So, we have car 15, who is Mark Peterson with me right now. Mark.
Something's not right. In that.
No, Mark doesn't sound the best. Mark Peterson, no. He's got issues. Mark Peterson, that car not sounding the best as it goes up the hill.
No, it's not, is it?
No.
So that could be a shame. Problems there for Mark Peterson. This could put an end to his day prematurely. But I think we did see him like that in the earlier run, but it just sort of came clean. So we'll just watch his progress as he goes up the hill.
Yeah, what a shame.
No, he's
Where's
way
Knight
off
now?
he's way off the pace now.
Yep.
We're 43 seconds gone. He's not at the top of the hill yet.
No, he does have a problem.
You think it was me driving, Lindsay?
No, Les, I think you'd be still. I think you'd be really. Yeah, what a shame for Mark. And this is where they say this is a sudden death now, and all the good work that he's done really means nothing now.
Yeah.
And
It can happen to the best.
yeah, it could happen to anyone. It happened last year here when we got to the finals. Alistair McRae was expected to win. He thought Sloan Cox and Hayden Paddon would be before him, but hey, that's the way it goes. And the nature of the sport.
Nature of the sport, definitely.
Don't think he'll take any further part.
And going back to our car, Lindsay, this year was the last year it's eligible for National Championship, which is actually a shame because all that means none of your cars like ours are all out now.
We've talked about so many of these cars, Les, over the weekend,
Yes.
and how competitive and good they still are.
Yes,
And I cannot believe, I don't know where the new cars are going to come from.
No, I think the championship can't help but shrink because no one can afford the
I'm
new
going to afford to
cars.
do it. So a shame for Mark Peterson. He put it was a 1 minute 40, but that definitely is. I'm afraid that will be the end.
So next car off the line is car number 14, Nick Clark.
Nick Clark, another one of the Evos, the Evo 6 of Nick Clark.
Sponsored by Arcadia Bar.
Competed pretty well at this event, particularly Nick Clark. Been here a few times before. Yeah, so Les, I mean, I'm struggling to think of how many cars were going to be left in the National Championship if you start taking. I mean,
Especially in
is
category
Ben Hunt's,
one.
is Ben Hunt's car will be
His is
eligible?
okay.
Is it?
He's got another couple of years,
Is
but
that
then that'll eventually run out as well. So it's a bit of a dilemma.
Do you know what the reasoning behind it is?
They want to get all Rally New Zealand want to get all the current crop of looking cars, so they built the AP4s,
Yes.
which is great, but it's a shame they're so expensive.
Yes, and an average person can't afford them, can they?
No.
Okay, a 40.84 for Nick Clark for the interval, which could be a fraction slow.
May not be enough.
No, I don't think it's going to be enough. It's going to be a 107.02 for Nick Clark, which won't be good enough, I'm afraid.
This is an awesome setup in this horse float, Lindsay.
Do you like our wild horse float?
Well, I do, actually.
Yeah, we're very grateful to have
You can just about live in
our
it.
horse float. Well, whilst it's new like this, it's extremely pleasant.
Yeah.
And of course, we must thank Wild Horse Floats and commend them out there. If you're in the business of looking to buy a new horse float, visit Wild Horse Floats in Rangiora, and they've got these beautiful structures to show you. So it's Luke McLennan on the line now. Luke McLennan from Ashburton in the Evo 3.
It's another good wee car.
Another good wee car. Another stalwart of rallying in New Zealand in the Evos. I was saying before, Les, that the Evos and the WRX is a bit like what the BDAs were in the RX3s from the 70s.
Yes, they are. Exactly, actually.
This is the next generation of these great, reliable rally cars.
And that's where the Japanese imports, that's why there's so many of them. It was great for the sport.
Yes.
Affordable for all drives.
Well, 40.53 for Luke McLean at the top of the hill.
40.53 to the 150 here, but
You gave me than that with the Datsun 1200s. They were the hallmark for a long time.
They were
in the small
too.
class, weren't they?
Yep, and look how many Toyota Starlets there are still going.
Yeah, a lot.
And they're still being built.
A 105.91 for
It's
Luke
actually a good
McLennan.
time. But the way the times are coming down,
105.91.
what's the cut-off going to be, Lindsay?
Yeah, well, I reckon. Yeah. 103s.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Extremely tough.
Now here's the forerunner to the Evos, the
Yep.
VR4s.
Great car.
Here's Gareth McLaughlin all the way from Hastings in the Hawke's Bay with his VR4.
That shows you the popularity of the event to bring it all the way from Hastings.
Well, we're saying that a lot of people, as you know, sit at home and watch us on television. And
Yes.
and just want to come out and have a go at it.
They got off the line really well.
He's had an overall class win in the Rally Extreme.
So I'm sorry we can't bring you the times from the previous run. Unfortunately, what we've been given has only just got the names of the competitors and the order they finished in without the time, so we cannot tell you what they are.
Cargo back in 2018.
So it's a 38.72 to the top. That's very good.
It is.
Car.
Yeah.
The Winmax 50 here, but yeah, so just looking at
Depends how brave you are downhill.
you want to be under 40 seconds if you as a split to grab a good time towards the bottom of the hill to secure you through to the next round. So we'll see what he can do. Oh, he's about
A 102.43.
Wow, that's
He'll be on the cusp.
yes, he will be.
Yep.
It'll be great to see him go through.
102.43. A
Good
great
time.
from
Fantastic time.
Gareth McLaughlin in the VR4.
Okay, next up is car number.
Another Evo, this one of Jason McConnell in the Evo 7. Former stock car driver Jason McConnell.
Yeah, he's got a wheel alignment shop in Christchurch. Great on wheel alignments too.
Actually waiting for Gareth McLaughlin to come back. I think he won't be able to cope with walking back
Oh, that's great.
after
isn't it?
what Matt's going in. Righto, Jason McConnell's on the way.
A few years ago, in our old Impreza that he bought, he tipped it over on the downhill. Yeah.
Jason McConnell, did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
top 32, so he'll be hoping that he can get a bit quicker as the sun starts to shine.
No.
So up to the 150 here, Tim.
A 39.54. So he could be maybe a bit slow.
Yeah, might not be enough. That's what it's down to now.
Big James finished in the top 8 here at the Winmax brake pads. Ashley Forrest running for it before. Can he do it again this year? Here he comes. Over the turbo car, finish line and time off.
104.83. No, that won't be quick enough.
No.
Les?
It's not looking like it.
Next we have is car number 9. It's Daniel Fick from Dannevirke in the Mitsubishi FTO. This is now in 4-wheel drive trim. It was in 2-wheel drive previously.
This will be an interesting car actually. I like the idea of what
It
he's
does,
done
I
there.
do too. And it actually
V6
it goes very well too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Sounds like a Zephyr, mind you.
It does, doesn't it? Oh, it's like a Bedford truck.
Oh, like a Mark III Zodiac.
There's a laugh behind us. It's Gareth McDonald.
Hello, Grant.
And he's still shaking it.
Hey, Les.
Hello.
And he's still
Boy,
shaking.
your boy can drive, can't he?
I think he might be able to.
You went under a minute, did you know that?
58, yeah, we said we've been under the minute. We need to develop a secret handshake club for those who've done under a minute.
Oh,
We've got that,
no.
especially when you mention the word wild moose.
We have to live with that now, do I, for the rest of the day now.
I'll get out of the chair.
Hey, thanks, Les. Nice to see you. Well, that was a 39.77 for
He's going to hide again.
for Daniel Fick. So we reckon about 103 is going to be the cut-off time now. So here we go. 104.75.
Thanks, William. Hey, thank you. That was a good spot. I enjoyed it.
You might be on call, so stand by.
Can you speak?
Well, that was a bit of fun for this Sunday morning.
Yeah, it's afternoon now. That was Rightio. The next we have is Graham Bajering from all the way from Waihi and the Starion V8.
The V8 revs up on the start line.
The ex Kim Austin Starion V8.
Yeah, great to see the road firsthand, Lindsay. It certainly is cutting up a wee bit.
Yeah.
So, yep, the boys have got a bit of handful to keep punching these times out. But that was the first time Matt's run the car unrestricted, so great time.
Did it feel like a sub-minute run?
It did.
Or
No, it
couldn't
was
you
pretty
tell?
quick.
It was
Well,
quick. Yeah.
Just the speed you're going up the hill, you know, it's all going to
Yeah.
all going to translate.
Yeah, it is. That's what has to happen, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And that first 100 or so metres is very important, isn't it?
Yes.
Off the line,
Yep.
keep it in a straight line, keep the revs on an even band. Very important, and he did. It was a wonderful run.
And the downhill, just absolutely brilliant car control, man. And it's for the brave coming down the hill. As I say, it can be the best adrenaline rush in New Zealand coming on the downhill, and I have to say it's true.
And a 13-year-old car that's no longer eligible for the Dillon Rally Championship next year.
No, talking about that, as Matt was saying, isn't it crazy? A car that's that competitive,
Yeah,
a great car for young guys to learn, to get into the sport.
Les and I were just talking about it before. There's a whole string of cars in that category right here this weekend.
Yeah.
And there's probably good answers for it, and with all respect to those in charge, hey, we'd like to hear some of your reasons behind it. It would be marvellous to hear why this is being done.
Okay, so we've just heard the hold up is for the spectators up on the hill. Of course, officials need to make sure everyone is in a safe place, and very important to make sure
So
that
if
this
you
event is safely conducted.
and if you are watching us, send us a few more texts. We haven't seen any for a while, so it would be good to.
There's no doubt the live stream audience will build this afternoon as we get into the money end of the game, as they say. So only 16 cars from this round are going to continue on, and then only 8 will continue on from that, so forth, 4 and 2 for the final. So we were talking about that 102 at one stage for being the cut-off, but by
103 I reckon now.
It'll be much higher than that, I think. Graham Bajering launches the V8 Starion off the start line, all 6 litres heading
Wonderful.
towards the top of the hill.
A wonderful sound. This is the car that the late Kim Austin won this event in 1998 with a time of 58.96. That's 21 years ago.
Right.
Ah. But you just joined that club now, Grant.
I have. I think we'll have to get some t-shirts made next year.
The sub 1 minute club.
So Graham Bajering started racing at the age of 15 with the Thames Valley Car Club. With an Escort, he's had an RS 2000 Escort, the Hillman Avenger V8, 4x4 of course, which was owned by Don Hickman. And that Avenger, we talked about the Mystery Creek Rally Sprint days, and that was very much a car that was
A
at the
bit
top
slow
of
to
its
the
game.
top was
So
Graham 103.61. Now that was right on the cusp, Grant, for Graham Bajering. 103.61.
So he's taken 2 seconds off his qualifying 4 run time, 103.61. But yep, it's going to get down towards the cut. I think you're right, Lindsay. So Mike Wellington next on the line. Last time Mike did a 102.05 in the ex-Hayden Paddon Evo 8, car number 7.
Nice looking car. Still reminds us of Hayden Paddon with the green colour scheme.
This, as we watch Mike head towards the top of the hill, a few more comments coming in. Chris Evans just tuned in doing my night shift in northwest England, UK. Can't wait to see Hayden in Wales. Yes, he's going to be at Rally Wales GB in a couple of weeks' time. So Chris, you'll get to see him. So glad you're enjoying the live streaming coverage coming from North Canterbury here in New Zealand. From Gary Innes, Chris Hayden just reset the record. Yes, indeed it has. And g'day to Pavel, who's joining us. Watching from the Gold Coast. Roger Repsey. Hi Roger.
37.61 for Mike Wellington at the hairpin, and he comes through with a 101.24.
A 101.24. So that's about 7/10 off his last effort.
I think it will be enough.
Qualifying 4.
It will possibly be enough. Next we have is Trevor Crowe. And I won't say the grand old man of motorsport, I'll say the grand man of motorsport, because Trevor Crowe certainly has earned that title to be at the top of his game for a very long time, since the late 70s indeed, with Trevor Crowe. Won most things in weekends, including this event. But this could be one barrier today, just a bit too high, I think, for Trevor to climb out of this today with the Subaru. In his day, certainly capable of it. And
Is that V8 Oscar car still in existence?
yeah, I don't know where it is though. Trevor possibly will know where it is. There was 2 of them, of course.
And a very good afternoon to Brenda Williamson. Fantastic coverage, guys. Glad you're enjoying it. Nice to have you with us. How many cars to go until the top 16, says Brian Terry? We have six cars to go. Brian? So,
including Trevor Crowe.
Might be planning to go and make his lunch and have a cup of tea and not miss anything. So good on you, Brian. Thanks for joining us.
38.75 for Trevor Crowe to the top of the mountain. And it'll be a darn good time. Trevor Crowe 103.6. Yeah, Trevor, you're still in with it, my friend. Yes, that's a good time. But he will be on the cusp. Round that 103 something, Grant.
I think so.
Next one we have is Sean Hegarty from Rangiora in the WRX Subaru. Sean in his 4th year of rallying, having previously raced motorbikes.
I just had a chat to Sean actually before he started this run on my way back to the commentary position, and asked him why we only saw him in one run yesterday, and that was the head bolts on the car to be replaced. So that was done overnight. They worked until 9 o'clock or something last night. The car's back going, and he's back here and has been in each of the rounds so far today. His qualifying 4 time was 1 minute .43. So can Sean get under the minute?
Under your minute.
Join our club. Come on, Sean.
There we are, 38.43 to the top.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just scanning over the times, it's going to be about a 103s. I think is going to be about the cut-off.
There's quite a few in the 103s, Grant, though. We're going to have to... Trevor Crowe, 103. There we go. A 101.79 from Sean Hegarty.
So he's actually gone slower in the top 32 than he did in qualifying 4. That's just over a second.
Next we have is Richard Bateman from Blenheim in the Evo 9. Richard Bateman will be there or thereabouts, I suggest.
Yes, he had an issue on that last
Yes,
run and only did a 108.61.
Yeah, but
So
he's capable of something better, a lot better than that.
trust that issue's been sorted, and didn't really matter in the top in the qualifying, but it does now. So Richard Bateman, Rookie of the Year in the New Zealand Rally Championship 2015. And also won the Mainland Series category in the same year, 2015. Supported by Richard Bateman Motors, Auto Spec, Alignment Specialist, DS Panel and Paint, Spec Performance, and IT's Tyres.
And he did a 37.49 to the top.
The last time was a 38.15, so that's an improvement.
It's going to be a good time. .4. 101.4 from Richard Bateman.
Oh, the car's obviously back on song, and he's in the money.
They're all stacking up now, Grant.
Yep.
Next is Michael Tall in the Mitsubishi Mirage, a car that Mike's got going extremely well. 2.3 litre, 2.3 turbo, and it goes very, very quickly, this car.
Supported by four-wheel drive upgrades and Submit is Mike Tall's car number 3, Mitsubishi Mirage. So So usually in the top six he says, unless he has an issue, and I can't imagine that will change this year looking at his performance so far.
I must say our top 4 are starting to stare us in the face a bit now. Matt Summerfield's car today is not restricted where it was yesterday, and he threw in that excellent time of 58.38. Him and Gareth McDonald, I should add.
So Matt did a 59 in that car last year, unrestricted. So
So 58.38 unrestricted today.
Yeah.
So there we are. Is Michael Tall. It did a 36.66.
A little bit untidy at the hairpin.
Yeah, but a very good time. If you can.
Well, you've only got to look at what Matt's done. Matt did a 36.25, and that was a 58-second run. And we know he's capable of 58, Michael. Here he comes. He's a former runner-up here at the Winmax.
Yep. No, he's at the 1 minute even. 1 minute and 23 seconds.
Well, I think when you look at the splits to the top, just talking the difference between Matt and Mike there, and it just shows you the downhill. I mean, we were flying down that hill. He's very, very brave coming down that hill, and that was an exceptional run. The best part of the journey.
Rightio, sure. Now we have Hayden Paddon.
So, as we say, here come the heavyweights. So Hayden's already set a new record at 54.14 in the last run. How much quicker can he go yet? Gosh, can we get into the 53s? Hayden getting ready. Gives you goosebumps every time you hear it take off the line, that car.
Oh yeah, wow.
Just
damn,
awesome.
wow.
Hayden Paddon.
Sideways to victory, as they say. The old Roger Clark saying from the back in the 70s, sideways to victory. What a wonderful way to go to. Look at this.
This car's
Look at this. Rightio, and he's done a 33.91 to the hairpin.
okay, so he did a 33.47 last time. I think some of this is the road condition, is what we noticed going up with Matt, certainly, but
It changes, is it? Yeah, it's constantly changing, all right.
quite rutty.
Yeah. 54.18.
54.18. And last time was 54.14. So maybe the road condition is playing in a wee bit now.
So you're right. Yeah, maybe it is a road condition. Maybe we've seen the best of the road, but I don't know. It's,
of course, getting down into the into those top, but there's always a few tricks they have up their sleeve, don't they, for the last few runs? So they might need all those tricks if the road is.
Now we have a man who is very keen to get his course record reinstated.
Yes.
In Sloan Cox. His 54.96 was beaten by Hayden Paddon in the last round. So let's see what Sloan Cox can do.
Of course, Sloan Cox competing in the Rallycross in Finland and Sweden last year on the RX Academy. Certainly got a bit of fire dialed into that car for this run. Quite interesting, isn't it, Lindsay, to see the difference of these two fast cars getting off the line and where they're plucking gears.
Yes.
And, yep.
Hayden very, very short in first and second gear, and a very long third gear.
So up to the hairpin comes Sloan Cox, nicely round the hairpin.
33.91, which is the same as what Hayden Paddon did to the top. 33.91 to the top.
So that's quicker than his qualifying 4 time at the top. So this really is a shot-for-shot battle, isn't it?
Here we go, 54.88.
54.88. So, yep, they really are just taking smidgens of time off now because of 55.03 last time for Sloan.
So I make it Hayden Paddon with a 54.18, followed by Sloan Cox 54.88, followed by Matt Summerfield 58.38, followed by Michael Tall at 1 minute and 23 seconds. Then what are we looking at, Grant? Chris Hayes would have been in there somewhere too, doesn't he?
He's a 1 minute .9.
And Garrett Thomas is a 1 minute. No, Jason Clark 1 minute .48. Garrett Thomas 1 minute .76.
So there we are. That's the conclusion of the top 32 shootout, and just 16 cars will progress further. And we now have our lunch break. So on behalf of the MoMac crew, we'll break out the sandwiches and we'll be back with you when we get into the top 3 final for the 0 to 1300cc class. Will be the next competitive class on the hill, followed by the top 16 elimination round. Enjoy your lunch. We'll be back with you shortly.